I promise that this video can truly change your life. As I always say, success largely depends on you. And today, more than ever, it's especially important for me that you actively participate. Take a few minutes, set aside all distractions, and focus on what I want to share with you. In this video, we will explore the topic of vibrations, but we'll look at it from a slightly different angle than usual. Typically, my videos follow a clear script. But today, I want to step away from the usual framework and talk to you informally, as if in a friendly conversation. No extra preparation, no tension. So let's begin. The concept of vibrations is gaining more and more interest, and it's not surprising. More and more people are starting to ask, what is it, and how does it affect our lives? As this curiosity grows, so does the amount of information available, and here a fair question arises: if so much has already been said on this topic, why talk about it again? Friends, the fact is that there are many different ways to study vibrations, and not all of them are equally useful. Some people dive deep into technical details, getting lost in theories and terms that ultimately explain very little and sometimes even complicate understanding. Others, on the contrary, get carried away with fantastic theories that seem far removed from real life, losing touch with practical aspects. Moreover, in an attempt to please their audience, some people deviate so far from the original topic that they end up nowhere. I spent a long time thinking about how to approach this subject without getting lost in extremes. How can I talk about vibrations without overwhelming you with complex technical aspects or getting caught up in far-fetched fantasies? After much thought, I came to two important conclusions. First, I simplified the concept of vibration, removing unnecessarily complicated and confusing points. Second, I decided to share my personal experience with you, which vividly illustrates the power of maintaining a high vibration in everyday life. This experience is something that actually happened to me, so it's as close to real life as possible, far from fantasies and abstractions. Experts say that vibration is the energy that animates everything around us. Every atom, every molecule, every particle in the universe vibrates, including us. This vibration can be high or low. When we feel good, our vibration rises. When we're in a bad mood or depressed, the vibration drops. But here's the key point: it seems like we need to become real experts in this area to learn how to maintain a high vibration. But that's not true. You don't need to become a scientist or study complex schemes to understand how to keep your vibration high. The essence is simple: you just need to learn how to feel good. Do you really need someone to explain to you what good feelings are? After all, that's something you already know from personal experience. Only you control your emotions. So why look for answers elsewhere when they're already inside you? Let's be honest. High vibration is, in essence, simply feeling good. And that's all we need to understand. There's no need to complicate things. Technical details about vibrations don't play as significant a role as many think. We're talking about shifting between positive and negative emotions, not about mystical frequencies and waves. It's a mistake to think that the only way to attract what you want is to always be in a state of high vibration. Reality is much more complex and interesting. We all spend a lot of time in stress, dissatisfaction, and disappointment. And yet, the universe continues to work. It responds to our internal state. And it's not always just about bad or good. The true value lies in the fact that we constantly interact with the world through our emotions, not through abstract vibrations. The simplest solution I can offer is to maintain a stable sense of well-being. This ensures that everything in your life will move in the right direction. But what's the problem? Why is it so hard to maintain this state? Let me share my opinion. We are often told that in order to attract something specific, we need to tune into the right frequency, as if we were radio receivers picking up signals. This may be a useful metaphor, but don't take it too literally. I am not a radio, and neither are you. We are people, and our energy is much more complex than simply tuning to a frequency. If you're looking for a video that explains vibration in terms of frequencies and waves, this might not be the one for you. But if you want to understand my vision of vibrations and how they have truly changed my life, then you're in the right place. I want to share my story without any embellishments or fantasies. I'll tell you how I went from a state of depression to a life that I now love. And it didn't happen because of any magical practices or abstract concepts, but because I changed my inner state. I think all of us have an idea of what we want in life. But at some point, I realized that this idea began to fade. I had been working in an office for 5 years, sharing it with 2 colleagues. One of them was a very serious and quiet man, and we mostly talked about his children. The other colleague often changed, and over the course of 5 years, several people came and went. But one of the last employees, without even knowing it, played an important role in my life. At that time, my life had become a routine. I felt empty and unfulfilled, but I didn't know how to change the situation. I was searching for something more, something that would give meaning to my existence. I think many of you know what it's like when life seems to lose its colors, and you're just existing without really feeling alive. And then one day, during one of my usual workdays, I watched a documentary called The Secret. And something inside me shifted. This was my first encounter with the ideas of vibrations, energy, and attraction. I was fascinated and dived into studying these mystical topics. I needed something that would bring meaning to my life, something that would bring emotions, something that could become a real change. The Secret opened the doors to my spiritual quest. But, as is often the case, it took years to truly understand what it was trying to teach me. Moreover, it took me over a year to start applying this knowledge in practice. And that's what I want to emphasize: don't spend years just thinking about it. Start acting right away. When we're dissatisfied with our lives, it's easy to be tempted by any promise of change. We grab onto anything that offers to shake us out of routine, whether it's movies, games, or spiritual practices. I know many of you might feel the same way. When life feels empty and meaningless, it's easy to believe that just positive thinking will change everything. But it's not that simple. The law of attraction exists, but it only works if you act in line with what you want. The universe is watching your actions. So don't waste precious time hoping that everything you're looking for will come on its own. After I realized that just wishing for something wasn't enough, I started acting. This decision drove me to delve deeper into the study of vibrations. I decided to change my life, starting with simple things. For example, I set a goal for myself to get a promotion at work. I knew I needed to maintain a high vibration to achieve this, but given my current state, it seemed almost impossible. Many external factors were affecting my mood and knocking me off track. But I didn't give up. I understood that I needed to change not only my attitude but also my actions. I started with simple things. I began walking to work instead of taking the crowded bus. This simple change freed me from morning stress and helped me lose the extra weight I had gained from sitting all day. I also started communicating better with my colleagues, which brought more joy into my life. Several months passed, and I felt real changes. My vibration had risen, and I noticed that people around me started noticing it too. But most importantly, I felt that my life was finally moving in the right direction. At this point, I want to remind you that each of you can do the same. Don't be afraid to set goals for yourself and move towards them, no matter how hard they may seem to achieve. And, of course, don't forget to subscribe to Awakened Insider if you want to continue your spiritual journey with me. Every week, I post new videos that will help you along the way. Share your thoughts in the comments, ask questions, and let's work together to achieve our goals. May your vibration always be high, and may every moment of your life be filled with joy and gratitude.